Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. And what is this video about? Well, I'm going to take a simple beat and then I'm going to run it through the Spectral resonator, and then I'm going to use MIDI to control the notes of the Spectral resonator, and then I'm going to apply pitch bends to those MIDI notes using MPE automation applied to the MIDI notes that are going into the Spectral resonator that the drum beat's on. Why am I going to do that? Well, why not? Why not? I tried to think of a reason why not to do it, and there were none. There were none reasons. Sometimes there are just no reasons not to do anything, and there is every reason to do nothing, I think. So to start with, I have loaded the 808 core kit and made the best beat of my life. Amazing. I'm going to go make a SoundCloud page right now. So if we turn up the dry wet on the Spectral resonator, we can hear what it does like by default. Okay. So the fun thing about the Spectral resonator is that not only will it support polyphonic MIDI sidechaining, but that MIDI can be MPE. It's crazy the world that we live in. So I'm going to have a go with that right now. I can't guarantee that it's going to sound good, but welcome to my YouTube channel. MPE is kind of, cool and trendy right now. Everyone's talking about it. You might be thinking, what is MPE? Is it like some new form of Viagra or something? Or is it like some cryptocurrency art thing or something? Or no, what it stands for is, what MPE stands for is, I don't know what it stands for. And I don't care. Basically, I don't care. First of all, we need to tell the Spectral resonator to receive MIDI sidechaining from a MIDI track. So we're going to turn MIDI on, and then we're going to select the MIDI track that the MIDI is coming from. Drink every time I say MIDI. So MIDI 4 is the track I've selected, which is this track here. So to start with, I will just draw in like some notes from the C major scale here. And just zoom out a bit, and I'm just going to drag that out, fire that clip, and we'll hear what it does. We need to go back and turn the dry wet up. So we can basically play the Spectral resonator like an instrument when audio is going into it. How interesting. So when does the MPE stuff come into it? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply polyphonic pitch bends to each of those notes to create a sort of disorientating and yet nicely satisfying resolution of chord changes. Rather than by just changing chord, I'm going to like slide and smear between like chords, and I'm just going to mess about really. So I'm going to incorporate the chants as well, and just sort of, I'm going to experiment. This is an experimental YouTube channel, okay? So let's say that we want I'm going to say that I want my sequence to be maybe 4 bars long, and each bar is going to be like maybe 1 chord change. So let's stretch all this out. Let's turn the scale on. Okay, that's fine. So let's listen to that again. I think maybe that's a little bit high in the octave, so I'm just going to select all of those, hold shift and press down and move it all down an octave. Okay, that's a little bit better. So let's just decide what we're going to do here. Well, we need to go to the MPE tab, which is here, and the slide is what we want. So, okay, I believe first of all we need to turn scale off. Okay, so now we've got these little nodes here on our notes. This is very interesting. And what we can do is, I just need to turn the snap on. So what we can do is that we can apply pitch bends and other things to just those single notes. So let's start with maybe doing a bend from the low C up to the F. And then we'll do like a little bit of a curve like that. I'm going to start halfway through each bar before I do the change. So, and then we'll slide down to a D, and then maybe we'll go up to a G, and then we might just come back down to the C like that. So let's see what that's like. Okay, well, we can't really hear it that well, but maybe I need to turn the decay up a little bit on the resonator. Okay, we can hear that it's doing it on just that low note. So let's persevere and crack on with these other notes. So let's have a look at what we could do with the D. Let's maybe do a D. Same sort of thing. Let's bend all the way up to A. Come about halfway through the bar, bend down to the F. Halfway through the bar, bend up to the G, and then back down to the D like that. Okay, interesting. Let's take this E. We'll bend down to the B. I'm going to start to get a little bit more drastic as I make my way up. Let's bend up to the B, bend down to the D, something like this. I'm just fucking about, you know. Where did I start? E. Okay, let's move on to the F. What could we do with this? Let's just do like a little bit more of a subtle one. We'll just go a note either side, but increase as we go like that. Back down to the F. It's kind of weird, but I kind of need to make this happen because I just want to know how it's going to sound. It's not really anything. It's not the type of thing I would normally do, but I'm just intrigued. Maybe for these last 3 high ones, I'll go really, really high. So let's bend all the way up to 10 semitones up. And then maybe like up again, something like this. And then we'll come all the way back down to the A like that. Maybe for these last high ones, I'll sort of increase the amount of time that this happens. And I'll just do like one bend like that. We'll come back down. And then for the C, maybe this high C will do something similar. We'll go all the way up to that. Similar sort of, let's maybe do a curve like this just for a laugh. Come back down. Okay. Actually, I've changed my mind. Let's do like, because otherwise it's just going to be a bending note for the whole thing, and we don't want to do that. We want to kind of like smudge between the chords. Maybe we could move them back up an octave again. Okay, I'm going to apply some chants now to all of those notes so that they're not all happening at once. Let's pull the chants down to something like 50, 49, 48%. Which are those ones that are bending a little bit? This one. Okay, let's maybe... Okay, interesting. All right, so I mean, it still sounds it's not quite to my taste. Okay, I'm going to group this, and I'm going to put this in its own chain in a group so that I can just process the wet signal, and I'll create a new chain for just the drums. Some of those bends are still a little bit too silly. Oh my God, what have I just done? Which note was that? There we go. I think it's all about just doing a little shove at the last minute. That's... Huh. Yeah, this is by far the most eccentric thing I think I've ever done. Ever in my life. I think I'd like to automate that. I'm going to automate that shift thing. Show automation. I'm just going to draw in some random stuff. Maybe unlink it so it goes at a weird time compared to the others. Let's just go down an octave with the transverse. It's kind of half disorientating and half euphoric. Let's put some echo on it. That echo will solve all our problems. Yes, it's very cutesy. Let's drum bus it like an idiot now. Let's just go berserk with the drum bus and maybe, okay. Okay, I'm going to now go a bit berserk with the beat repeats. Something I like to do quite a lot, as I'm sure you probably know. Let's just get this first one, and then I'm just going to create some variations on this. if we could have like a second one with MIDI from a second MIDI track to just do a bass. Let's put, oh, that's the wrong one. Let's put the resonator in here. Let's make a new MIDI track. And we'll do, maybe, let's try this. Let's see how we get on. So let's make this like 4 bars long. Okay. And I'm just going to draw in like 1 C like this. And then let's go to the MPE. Okay, so how do I actually create a node? Where do the nodes come in? Oh, I have to turn scale off. Okay. All right, there we go. So let's do like, let's draw in where we want our bends to happen. And then, so let's bend up to there. And then let's bend down to D, and then maybe let's go up to G, and we'll come back down to C. Something like this, but this, you know, we don't want them to be too drastic, so let's maybe do something like this. All right, so now let's go back to our mono resonator. Let's say from MIDI 5, we'll have this one be mono. Well, that turned out all right, didn't it? It's amazing what you can do when you don't give up, people. These types of things are always a sort of tipping point. There's one tipping point, which is it sounds shit, just fuck it off. And then the other tipping point is it sounds shit, but I won't be beaten by its shitness. I will make it sound better. Which tipping point you decide is up to you, not for me. To be quite honest, this is actually the 4th take I've done of this video because the other takes were all the it sounds so shit I give up tipping point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Experiment, all right? You don't have to do things by bullshit agendas and standards. You can just muck about and find things. And Ableton's really good for that. I'm going to go and put this on my Patreon now, where if you would like to download this and play around with it and investigate or download anything else that I've ever done ever in the entire history of my, well, actually in maybe the last sort of 4 years. And I would appreciate the support. Okay, see you next time. Bye.